Lens flare that would make J.J. Abrams proud. There is nothing I like more than a great lens flare to add a bunch of depth and some pop to a photo. Hi, I'm Director of Photography, Alec Watson, and I'm working on ACDSee Ultimate Studio 2021. We've got this image, which was shot in pretty good light. We've got some backlight going on. We know that the sun is kind of up in this area. By the way, it's hitting your hair. It's too bad we don't have a lens flare. Well, I'm gonna show you how to fix that. And you could add this to all sorts of photos. There's definitely advantages to adding it in post. So we're gonna take this image into the edit suite. There we go. We've got that in the edit suite. Now to get a lens flare, I actually have a bunch of them because when I see them, I take them. You might not have that, but you could do this method. Bing.com, and we are going to type in lens flare. Oh, look at that, it's already knows what I'm doing already. Lens flare on black. And we go ahead and we click images. That will give us a whole bunch of images, and we just look for something that would probably be right. This one here would be right. This one maybe here. We'll scroll through. You know what? I like this one here because I like these bits of lens flare. So what we do, copy this image, and then we paste this image. Drops in as a layer. We're going to drag this layer to size. In our layers blending option, we're going to switch from normal to screen. Now, a screen layer, you can think of that as like projecting to a screen. So if I had an LCD projector and I was projecting, I had two of them in fact, I was projecting this image and then I projected this image, screen, then the two of them would add to this. So from here, we just go ahead and we move this to somewhere that makes sense, kind of like there. Now, when I'm looking at this, I go, oh, you know what? I would love it if this lens flare here wasn't so horizontal. I'd like that to come down into my image, kind of thusly. Then we move our lens flare. And so this is the advantage of doing lens flare in post. So we just drop that in. When we're done, we click commit. Now, what I like to do at this point, we can see that there's an edge here, an edge here. There's edges all over the place, and they're easier to see sometimes if you click this on and off. And what I'll do for that is I'm gonna make a mask. So I come down here, add layer mask, and you can see that's white. So knowing that it's white, I'm gonna take a paintbrush and I'm going to paint black onto that. I will size that up with my mouse, and I will take the feathering. Feathering, see that just makes a softer edge. There we go. And we're just gonna paint around that hard edge, and it will soften it out and make it disappear. Now we'll click that on and off. Not so obvious. So as an advantage of doing this in post, one of the things that we can do is check to see whether it's kind of burning our subject too much. And I would say she's maybe getting a little softer than I'd like in terms of contrast. There's a little less contrast because she's getting overlaid with light. That, like, I like that contrast there. And, you know, I like this, but you know what? Because I'm doing this in post, I have the ability to take a brush at maybe 20% and just paint over her face. And what this does, this paints a gray mask over her face and brings back the contrast. So that if I turn this on and off, you can see her face doesn't change that much, but it still leaves this great lens flare going down here. If I want, I could go over her legs a bit to bring back in some contrast. If I think I'm losing a little too much there, I can just soften that slightly. So I still want to leave it there. I just want it softer. There we go. This bit through here, that looks a little too artificial, so I'll just soften that out. And voila, there we go. A fantastic lens flare that looks like sunshine. I would never know in a million years that that wasn't sunshine. It was as simple as finding it as a lens flare on black and then dropping it into my image. It definitely enhances the image for me. If I turn this off, I've got a good, well-lit image, but in comparison, it just looks flat to this much more dramatic image with sunshine in it, and I have all the advantages of not having to wait there for that exact time to try and get that image, and also I have complete control over the ghosting of the lens because it was done in post. If you got something out of this, please click like. We're doing tutorials pretty much weekly, so go ahead and subscribe. If you got questions, throw them my way. I will be monitoring this. And in the meantime, get out, take some photos, and especially if they're backlit, use this trick for making fantastic lens flares on your photos and make the world a better and more beautiful place.